every single day. I'm gonna make.
Hi guys, it's DISCLAIMIER again. Thank you so much for joining me in my little corner here on YouTube, where I share all things skincare, makeup, whatever is going on my mind. I love that time. So for today's video, guys, I'm just gonna jump right into it. I'm gonna be doing things a bit differently. This is my first time actually doing this, and I really hope I do it well. This is gonna be a chit chat, getting ready with me, where I'll be sharing my thoughts and opinions on the subject, on what to do while you are being pressured to get married, and what to do in terms of developing yourself while you are waiting to be in a serious relationship, or you're waiting to get married, as well as playing with makeup. So we're going to be doing a double entendre today. So we're going to be doing those two things today, and the star of today's video is the Pearl Cosmetics Crystal Clear Holiday Collection. Now I won this on doing a giveaway by Pearl Cosmetics. My girls Titi and Marlo tagged me, so I was chosen for the giveaway, and I got some brushes, some lipsticks, some eyelashes. So okay, I'm going to be playing with these items, as well as a face palette. So I'm going to be playing with these items while I do a chit chat, getting ready with me. So guys, bear with me and be very gentle with me as well. This Pearl launched these products in terms for the holiday period, in trying to add a bit of glamour to your makeup look. So I really hope I do these items justice. So let's get started. I'm going to be priming my eyes as I'm talking to you guys. Okay, so I've been meaning to talk about this for a minute, but I didn't want to offend anyone, but oh well. So I was inspired to do this video because we all know this is the holiday period, and people tend to get very lonely and down in the dumps for several reasons. Some people they find themselves getting down and sad because they're not either in a serious relationship, or they're hoping that their significant partner proposes to them based on the societal pressures that we have as women, in terms of trying to find the right one, the Mr. Right. Now, if marriage is not on the cards for you, you're not interested in getting married, or you're not interested in relationship talks and everything, feel free to sign off now. I won't be offended, trust me. So I will try and be as non-judgmental, and I'll be sharing some of my own experiences in today's video as well. Okay, for my primer I used the P. Louise eyeshadow base in the shade Grwm 05. Okay, we are going to be using the Crystal Clear Ultimate Face Palette. Now I've already started playing with this palette, so don't be alarmed, it's kind of messy. So this is a complete face palette, as you can see. Okay, now these are the right side here, okay, are filled with the matte shades. The left side here, okay, are the shimmer shades, and the middle part, I think those are the blushes. So these are the shades I'm going to be using for today's tutorial. The shade Indulge, the shade Socialite, and the shade Fine Wine. These three shades here. Okay guys, now that we're done with that, I just wanted to share my, first things first, find out who you are as a person. What are the things that make you happy? What are the things that make you sad? What are your true values? What are your goals? What are your ambitions? What are your short and long-term goals? What are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? Identify all these issues that truly make you happy, because there's a saying that if you don't know what makes you happy, if you don't know how to be happy, how do you expect somebody else to make you happy? So it's very important that you use that time to indulge in a series of self-reflection and self-meditation. Do not let society push you or pressure you to rush things. I decided at that point in my life where things were not going so well for me and I was in a funk and everyone had people in my ear, I decided to just take some time out and do some serious deep thinking. And I decided that I wanted to be successful professionally, and how I decided to achieve that was to go back to school and get a master's degree. And that is one of the best decisions that I ever made. At that time, when I was out of the country, I was able to indulge in series of self-reflection and identify the things that I needed to fix within myself. I had a lot of baggage and trauma from my past relationships, and I decided to deal with that. I read books, I read articles, I watched a lot of webinars, and that was how I was able to overcome some of those issues that I've had. Now, people are very different. If it is you, you might decide to seek depending on whatever your goals are. If your goals are if you're like me, you are deciding to go back to school, what are the steps what steps do you have in terms of achieving that? If it means if one of your goals are to be more spiritual, what are you going to do? Are you going to be attending service more? Are you going to be going for Sunday services at the mosque? Are you going to be indulging taking part in more community affairs? Are you going to be taking more roles in the church or at your mosque? If you have a lot of trauma and from your childhood, from a relationship, what steps are you going to do in terms of releasing all that trauma? Speaking to someone, speaking to a psychologist, speaking to a therapist, and or better still, trying to identify what the things that make you happy. I know one thing I like to do was to watch movies and play makeup, of course. So I would go to the cinema and I would watch back-to-back movies for an entire day if I didn't have class or if I didn't have a study group. And lucky enough for me, at that point, my roommate used to work at Mac, so I would watch her play. We would play with makeup together. So these are the things that I would say you should do. Use that time very, very wisely to indulge in, to try and find and discover who you are as a person. It is very, very important. Like I said, if you don't know what makes you happy, how can you expect somebody else to know how to make you happy? Okay? Using my NYX glitter primer here. Oh, I'm going to be using two glitter shades here. I'm going to be using the shade Red Carpet and Glitz. That is these two shades here. These two. Let's do it here. Now, so guys, to my second point, if you're already in a relationship, depending on what stage you are, the early stages or in the late stages, middle stages, whatever stages you are, enjoy that time with your significant person. Okay, do not let society put that extra strain on your relationship. Enjoy the butterflies in your belly at that point, but at the same time, I would highly recommend, trust me, because I know, do not get carried away with the flutters and the bells and whistles of everything. Listen with your head, your eyes, and with your heart. Do not ignore your intuition. If something does not feel right, question it and dive into it. Now, I know we as women, we tend to avoid uncomfortable situations because we don't want to scare the person away, but I would say still go ahead and ask those pregnant questions, either at the beginning, at the middle, or whatever stages you are. Ask the person, what are your goals? What are your future goals? What are your short-term goals? Where do you see yourself in 5 to 10 years? What are your views on finance? What are your views on spirituality? Because that is how you will identify if your values and your opinions are aligned. If now, for example, if the person you are dating is from a Muslim household, ask him or her what are their views on having a second or third wife of you, if you're a dude, or ask the person, if you're a dude, ask her what her views on you taking a second or third wife. Because in Islam, I know it is encouraged. It's not encouraged, but it's allowed. Now, if you are the woman, ask him especially if he comes from a polygamous home. Ask him what are his thoughts on the issue. Now already you would know from the jump if his answers are already iffy and he doesn't want to answer those questions. Listen to your intuition in those parts. Watch how he relates to his loved ones, especially his mother, because how a guy relates to his mother will tell you how he will relate to you. Okay? And like I said, enjoy that time of you guys together. Try and discover who you are as a person and as a partner. Okay, so I'm going to line my top line. I'm going to be using the Pearl waterproof liquid eyeliner pen, and this is a bold MAC matte pencil. This is the on point, and guys, this eyeliner is the business. I'm going to go put on my lashes. I'm going to use the Pearl Crystal Clear 3-piece Pro eyelash kit. I already used one in my last video last week. I'm going to use the other one today. So let me go and put on my lashes, and we'll come back and continue with the video of today. Okay guys, so we have put on our Pearl lashes, and yes, they are sticking like glue. Okay, so to our foundation. Okay, we will be using another Pearl product, although even though this was not part of the Crystal Clear collection, I got this from Ulta. I got the Pearl 4-in-1 Love Your Selfie long wear foundation and concealer, and I got the shade DPP1. So guys, I would say use that time that you have either single or in a relationship very, very wisely. Use that time to observe the people around you, the couples around you, either married or in a relationship, depending on what stage they are. Use that time to observe them. Observe how they relate to each other. Observe how especially they resolve conflict and how they interact with each other, and how they go about their daily lives, and use that as a guide or a benchmark to identify what you want and what you might not want. I know a girlfriend of mine, before her and her fiance got married, they had this couple in their church who acted as their counsel or their guide, so to speak, and they would always go and seek this couple, and the couple always talk to them and counsel them and help them to resolve whatever issues they were having at that point in time. I know that churches do this a lot, depending on where you are in your relationship. If you are thinking about getting married, especially in that church, they always have like counseling sessions for couples. Those sessions are very, very, very important. Do not ignore those sessions. Do not skip those sessions. And I know that some mosques have started doing those as well. I cannot count how much those things are very, very important in identify if you guys are compatible or not. There's a reason why they are the voices of the elders that we shouldn't ignore. We shouldn't ignore those elders, because they are able to see things that we as young people are not able to see, because they've seen everything under the sun. Nothing is new to them. So I would say, do not ignore those voices. Do not ignore those people, especially if you brought them into your lives as guides, so to speak. Okay, for my blush, I'm going to go back into the Crystal Clear face palette. I'm going to use the shade going to use the shade Socialite as my blush. That is this shade here, this one. Yeah. Now to my final point. Depending on where you are in your relationship, some say do this at the onset, some say do this when you are about to take that final leap, in conjunction with going for your classes and ensuring that you guys are compatible in every single way. I would say, and this was what was said to my husband and I before we got married, carefully write down and outline what your expectations are in the marriage. okay, that would also ensure that you guys are on the same page. Ensure that you guys are on the same page in terms of finances. Are you guys going to have a joint account? Are you guys going to contribute an equal share to the household? Who's going to take care of the mortgage? Who's going to take care of the school fees? Who's going to take care of the groceries? These are things that need to be outlined. What are your expectations in terms of child rearing? If you are the dominant voice in terms of child rearing, in terms of disciplining, he knows that he has to step back, or she knows she has to step back. I would say this is also very, very important. And also, and if you can either do this in your initial stage as you're reflecting and identifying who you are, so that your family members don't just bring anybody to you, don't just expect you just to take anybody because you are single and you're coming of age and you're getting up there in age. No, you should not, and you should not settle based on anybody's expectations of you as a woman. Hey guys, for my lips I got 2 items from the Crystal Clear collection. I got a classic red, and I also got the timeless cream nuts. It's a Pearl. I'm gonna put the name on the screen. I got 2 lip kits. One, it comes with a lipstick and comes with a nude. So for the sake of today's video, I'm gonna go with the natural red. So my darlings, this is the finished look. What do you think? Overall, I like the Crystal Clear collection by Par Cosmetics. Thank you so much for sending the collection to me, and I hope this is the beginning of a very wonderful relationship. Anyhow, so back to my chit chat of the day. So let's go over what we discussed. Identify who you are as a person, identify what you like, what you do not like, what are your strengths, what are your weaknesses, what are the things that truly make you happy. Like I said, if you cannot identify what makes you happy, what makes you think that someone else can make you happy? Because once you identify those things, you can also help the person, ensure that you guys are on the same page. Second thing, enjoy the dating cycle, enjoy the butterflies in your belly. At the same time, listen to your intuition. If something doesn't seem right, do not ignore it and dive into it. Explore why certain things are not aligned, certain things don't feel right for some reason whatsoever. Third thing, keep an eye, have a close relationship with those around you, especially those couples. Identify what makes them happy, how they've been able to work together and live together, how they've been able to resolve conflicts. As much as I believe that there isn't like a blueprint to a perfect marriage, to a perfect relationship, but at least there is sort of a guide, there is a sort of like a template that you can use to navigate your own relationship. If you guys are thinking about moving in together, or taking the step towards marriage, or beginning the serious step in your relationship. The final thing is to outline what your expectations are as a couple with each other. Some say do this at the beginning, to put your cards on the table, lay it all out. Some say do this when you guys are about to take the step towards marriage or moving in together. There, like I said, there's no blueprint. Do listen to your instincts and find out when exactly it's the right time to have that serious conversation. Do not shy away from it. Do not brush things under the carpet. Say it as it is, and if it is meant to be, it will be. I am a strong believer of whatever is meant for you will be for you. Whatever is not meant to be will not be. You cannot force it. You cannot let society dictate what your happiness is. You know what makes you happy. You cannot let the pressures of society make you jump into a decision where you would later regret. Okay guys, so I'm going to get off my soapbox now and get the baby ready and head out to our Christmas party. So I hope you guys have a fabulous Christmas. Happy holiday, guys. I look forward to catching you guys in my video next week before Christmas. So you guys have a beautiful day, have a beautiful weekend, and don't forget to like, comment, share, and most of all subscribe. Okay guys, mwah.